Athletes who play for the Cardinal and Gold. Trojans Live is presented by Monster Energy. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Unleash the beast. It's time for your host. Live from Los Angeles, here are Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
Hello and welcome to Trojans Live, presented by Monster Energy on ESPN LA 710 across the USC Trojans Media Network. I am Jordan Moore alongside Sean Cody and Cody Kessler. We're going to be joined in a moment here by Matt Knowling of USC men's basketball. Kind of a different week. We're going with our basketball preview show. And some other guests as well. Football's on a short week, so they're actually practicing as we speak. So they're not able to join us like usual today, but that's cool. We got lots to talk about. Men's basketball season starts 2 weeks from tonight. The women also start 2 weeks from today, but they'll be in Paris. We'll have Talia von Oelhoffen next. Monster Energy, the official energy drink partner of USC, tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. And this is also presented by iTrust Capital, the official crypto platform of the USC Trojans. Matt Knowling joins us now to lead off the show. Matt, good to have you, man. You are one of the many new faces on this men's basketball team. There's only one returning scholarship player, Harrison Hornery. You come over from Yale for your last season. What drew you to USC in this opportunity?
Yeah, I just wanted a chance to really just go to a big school, big city. I'm from Connecticut, so I was in Connecticut my whole life. And talking to Coach Muss in the portal, had the chance to come visit out here, and I knew it was going to be hard to say no to. Just change of scenery, change of level, all that. It just checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Muss, right? We've had him on a couple times. A ton of energy. What's it like being on the court with him? Those kind of practices. What's he like?
Super intense. He's gonna get the best out of you, that's for sure. But it's great. Like he's has so much experience in the NBA and college. So just really trying to listen to everything he says and know he's trying to help us win. So it's really good.
You said you're from Connecticut, went to Yale, stayed close to home. How's the adjustment been coming to Southern California, living in Los Angeles?
Hey, the weather's nice, I'll tell you that.
There you go. Yeah. A little better in the winter.
Loving the weather. Yeah, it's been good. The staff and my teammates have helped the adjustment a little bit. Obviously missed my friends and family a little bit too back home, but it's been a good adjustment, pretty easy.
You're listening to Matt Knowling on Trojans Live. Last year, women's basketball made a run. They brought in 3 transfers from the Ivy League. They called themselves the Nerds in the end. We got 2. You and Clark Slacker from Penn. You guys have you branded yourselves yet?
That's actually my roommate. So
that's probably why they stuck it together. These guys probably want to do some nerd stuff together.
Yeah. I guess so. No comment.
Well, tell us about Ivy League basketball. What was it like playing it? You and Clark would battle it out. Those are good schools. Harvard's been good the last few years. What's Ivy League basketball like?
Ivy League basketball is really good. I think it's really underrated. I said this a couple weeks ago. I think last year we could have had 2 teams in the NCAA tournament, us and Princeton. And Princeton went on to last year, 2 years ago, when we made it to the Sweet 16, and we beat Auburn in the first round last year. So definitely got some hoopers, and I think the Ivy League's really slept on, and people just kind of think, oh, it's just a bunch of nerds going out and playing basketball, but we got some hoopers for sure.
Matt, talk about your style of play. Obviously, the fans haven't got to see you play out here. Get to see you play out here yet. What's your style? You're listed as a forward. What kind of power forward? What do we got?
Pretty unique. I'm pretty versatile. I can play really 1 through 4. I started at the 4 at Yale, but just a facilitator. I can score pretty efficient, within 15 feet. Really good passer. Can really defend 1 through 5 too. So excited to show my versatility and basketball IQ.
I like your game, man. It's like an in-between game. Did you always play like that? I mean, people will see it. You played very well in the opening exhibition, but it's this sort of glue guy game that you put together.
Right. So I grew up. I was really playing point guard, like growing up, all the way till like in high school. I was playing point guard too, and I was still doing the jump ball, then playing point guard. So I think that kind of helps me today, being able to handle the ball if I need to, be a good passer, but then I have the size too and the athleticism to play forward too, so kind of can fit in multiple places.
Well, you talk about your style of play, kind of sticking with that. Who did you like to watch growing up, or who did you like to model your game after? Who do you watch at the next level?
I don't know about one specific person. I grew up a big KD fan, love KD, but I don't really think I model my game after him.
Your game's nothing like his.
Yeah, I don't really. It's hard to say. Like I don't think my game really. I don't model it after anyone. I don't think I play like anyone in the NBA right now, which is a cool thing. So.
Well, you guys have a big exhibition coming up this weekend. Technically, it's a game that it won't count, in terms of the record books. But you have an opportunity to play Gonzaga, which is always a national title contender. You'll play them in Palm Springs on Saturday. How do you view that opportunity? How's the team viewing and preparing? A chance to sort of measure you guys against a great measuring stick.
We're treating it as a real game. This is a big opportunity for us. I think they're 6th in the preseason ranking. So, if we can go out, get a win, send a message, and hopefully get people in Galen this year, so show them that we're going to be a good team. Obviously, it's a first opportunity, so we're going to have time to grow and stuff like that, but it's a really good first early test.
Obviously, as a player, you always the next game is the next biggest game. It's what we're worried about. But any chance to look at that schedule and say, hey, maybe there's some teams here that I've been looking forward to play, or maybe one you got circled that say, hey, this seems like an interesting game.
Yeah, I have to say Michigan.
Okay.
I have to say Michigan. So my teammate from Yale last year, Danny Wolf, he transferred to Michigan, so he'll be there. So excited to play against him. Yeah.
We know team goals this year, obviously. Big Ten championship, national championship, wanting to make it to the tournament. What are some personal goals for you coming up in this season?
Yeah, kind of just showed that I'm able to be effective at this level too. I was pretty effective at the mid-major level, but being able to show that my game translates to the high major level and even the NBA and professional basketball. And just being a great teammate, taking all my experiences, taking the younger guys, and just being a good teammate and bringing good energy to the locker room.
Is there a difference you're already noticing? I mean, I know, obviously, academic-wise, it's a little different coming from Ivy League, but at practice now, you notice that difference a little bit in the level of play?
Yeah, just super intense here. Running to every drill super physical, and Coach Muss wants it done perfect every time, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in different styles of basketball based on the region? As a Northeast guy, now we're playing Big Ten basketball. You come out to L.A. Do you think hoopers hoop differently in L.A. than they do in the Northeast?
A little bit. I think the Northeast is more like, not fundamental, but like, a lot of like cutting and like really good like basketball IQ. And that's probably everywhere, but out here is a little more flashy. I think that's kind of with the lifestyle too.
Heard you like the weather out here in L.A. Any other hobbies you're getting into in L.A.? Are you a surfer now? What do you got going? Any other hobbies you're picking up, man?
Not a surfer. I'm trying to just explore L.A., honestly. Just got a car out here, so being able to, drive around, check out the beaches.
If you need any food tips, Jordan Moore's got the food tips.
I would love some food tips, please. Yeah.
Jordan, were you saying it's like spread type offense going to the Big Ten, like football-wise? It's a little different.
It used to be like a real thing. Like they used to say like Chicago hoopers couldn't shoot because it was so windy that they never learned jump shots.
Playing outside
so they
of the
would
park.
always take it to the hole, right? But now I've heard a lot of people say that, like, hey, whatever happened to that? Like a New York point guard used to be a thing. Like a New York point guard was a certain type of player.
Hey, Sebastian Telfair. That's
right.
who I
like
watched
Telfair,
from Coney
Stephon
Island.
Marbury, Kenny Anderson, like all these guys sort of fit a mold, that tough, hard-nosed player. Matt's from Connecticut. That's like it's a little different than hooping out here in the Venice Beach courts. But but now it feels like everyone's got trainers and everyone's sort of learning basketball in a similar way. So maybe it's not that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you talked about it going back to Muss a little bit, and that's kind of been the theme this year, the Muss bus, and everyone's kind of buying into that. What has his practices been like, kind of buying into that? And how's he helped you develop as a player since you stepped foot on campus?
He's really big on player development. So, if
Awesome.
we have an off day, you better be in the gym. And, even if we have practice, you should be in the gym before, maybe after, depending on the class schedule. But, really big on player development. And, he's taking all the lessons he's learned when he's coached, like, at Arkansas, Nevada, and the NBA, and really just, like, he always says, like, I'm trying to give you the answers to the test. Like, I'm trying to help you guys out. And he's been really good teaching us, really patient. He really recruited the right guys. Like, we got a bunch of guys that are smart, really want to learn and listen. So it's been good.
That's awesome.
Greatest left-handed hoopers ever.
Oh. Left-handed hoop.
Matt is left-handed.
Yeah.
Well, you play basketball left-handed.
Yeah.
You do everything left-handed? You swing a golf club left-handed?
Swing golf club. I write with my right hand. I swing golf club lefty, baseball lefty.
So you're left-handed.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both.
At school they always
best left-hand hoopers. That's a hard question.
Okay, how about follow-up then? And this is never controversial, so I know we'll be fine. Who's the GOAT all time? And follow-up to that is, why is it Kobe Bryant?
Okay. No. LeBron's grown on me. I'm not gonna lie. LeBron's grown. I used to be big Jordan, like Jordan all day. But the past couple of years, LeBron's he's shown me a little bit more.
Are you a little more LeBron type player, where you can take it down as a point guard playing that forward position?
I guess so.
Maybe not the size.
I've never gotten the LeBron player comp, but,
hey,
but
never know.
I guess so.
James Harden.
Okay,
High School,
yeah,
left-handed hooper.
that's a good one. Isaiah Thomas on the Celtics. He's
Yeah.
probably not the best all time.
Yeah.
It's a
but
good
he's
one.
like that.
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson right now.
Okay,
Hooping with that left hand.
Yes, sir.
That's my guy right there.
Yes, sir.
Matt Knowling, you're our guy. We appreciate you, man. You can see Matt this Saturday, USC versus Gonzaga. Hey, if you are in the Palm Springs area, I'm sure there's lots of USC fans around the desert. Get to this game. It's pretty cool. It'll tip at 5 o'clock, USC versus Gonzaga. It will air on Big Ten Plus if you can't make it to the game. But it's at the Acrisure Arena, which is where USC will play its Thanksgiving tournament as well. So if you go to this game, which is super affordable, you actually get free tickets to the session of your choosing for USC's Thanksgiving tournament. So it'll be a great deal. So definitely, if you're in that area, check out USC Gonzaga on Saturday, and then 2 weeks from tonight, that is the official opener of the Eric Musselman era, and Matt will be a part of that as well. The football game is coming up this Friday, USC versus Rutgers. That's presented by CHLA. That is an 8 p.m. tip. That will be on Fox. We will go on at 6 p.m. All right, we're still talking hoops when we come back. Switching to the women's side, it's TVO on Trojans Live next.
Is the ESPN LA USC Trojan Media Network, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
And this is Trojans Live, as we cover everything USC athletics. Once again, back to Trojans Live. Now back to the campus of USC at Heritage Hall, broadcasting in Los Angeles. Here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics. And hey, Trojan fans, celebrate every Trojan win and enjoy the sweet taste of victory with a free donut at Ralph's the day after the win. Download your digital coupon from the Ralph's app to score your free donut at any Los Angeles area Ralph's store. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Cody Kessler, and Talia von Oelhoffen joins us now. Another transfer. We just had Matt on. The women's doesn't have a ton of transfers. They brought in two blue chippers, though. Kiki Iriafen from Stanford and TVO here from Oregon State. We've been playing against you. We've been admiring you from afar. What brought you to USC?
I mean, so many things. I get this question a lot. It's hard to point to just one, but I think just the vision that Coach Lindsay had for me and my fit in the program, and preparing me for the next level. I think on and off the court, just preparation for my future was a big part of it for me. Obviously, I'll only be here for 10 months, so just capitalizing on that on the court, off the court. Obviously, the opportunities in LA, the opportunity to get a master's from USC, and then compete for a national championship and play a role in that. I think Coach Lindsay just kind of hit everything for me on my visit, so I'm super excited, and I'm loving it like I thought I would.
Yeah, what were your impressions of USC basketball, getting to watch last year from the outside and see Coach Gottlieb and the success they had last year?
Yeah, I think obviously my first year I played against USC before Lindsay got here, and then kind of to see the evolution of the program in those 3 years is super cool, and then obviously what they were able to do last year. Just being able to feel playing against them also kind of made a difference for me because I already kind of knew how they played and their system, and got to know Coach Lindsay a little bit, and then got to know Ju a little bit as well. And so just knowing the character of the players and the coaches, and then obviously learning more during the recruiting process. Just great people and just a great culture to be a part of.
You had a great career at Oregon State, obviously all Pac-12. How has that experience helped you now going into your first year at USC?
I mean, it's everything. I think just, as a freshman or just as a young player, just the little mistakes that everyone makes and everyone goes through. Just having been through a lot, and experience carries a lot of weight at this level. So I think just leadership is a big thing that I can bring, and just being a coach on the floor is something that I've learned to be really good at and take pride in. So yeah, it's been a great 3 years, and I think it's all led up to this point, and I'm feeling super excited and confident.
You're listening to Talia von Oelhoffen on Trojans Live, and I was today years old when I put it together that your father is Kimo von Oelhoffen. Sean and I are old, so I watched your father play. Your mother was a hooper, though. If people don't know, her father was a defensive tackle, just like classic nose tackle, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals. Hurt our guy Carson one time. We don't even need to talk about that.
No, we're good.
But your mom was a hooper. Who do you take after more? When you're an athlete out there, are you more like mom or are you more like dad?
I think they're very similar, but I'd say probably my mom just because directly applies to hoops. But obviously both super competitive. I have 2 older sisters, so just growing up, everything was a competition from board games to you name it. We were just always competing. So I think that really got instilled in me from a young age, and obviously work ethic, all those things it takes to be athletes at that level. Yeah, I would say both of them.
Any of that physicality ever come out in a little D-line play out there, a little extra elbow or from Pops or no?
I think I'm the youngest, so I think he kind of got that out. I didn't.
Okay.
His knees were bad by the time I was playing. But no, yeah, I'm definitely pretty physical and get that a lot from him. So they were both just super tough. So really instilled that in me from a young age.
So you're born in Pittsburgh, grew up in Washington, correct? And
yes.
then you go to Oregon State. How's it been living in Los Angeles? And I love asking the transfer players this because it is a different world out here, but how's it been living in Southern California and getting to play basketball here?
Yeah, it's way different, especially from Corvallis specifically. Just totally different college experience. I think a lot of the day-to-day is the same. Obviously, we're very busy, but just being in LA, the people that you get to meet, I think has stuck out a lot. There's just all different types of people from different backgrounds here. So it's been super cool. I love it. But yeah, very different from what I'm used to in Corvallis.
And speaking of Oregon State, I saw that your sophomore you dropped 31 on us, right? Is that correct?
I did.
So I'm going to need a couple of those this year for us.
But her greatest moments was a 1.1 second buzzer beater to gut the Bruins
against UCLA.
So I think that was your first
that.
Trojan moment. You weren't wearing the colors yet, but that made us all feel good on the inside.
Yeah, for sure. That was a crazy night.
That was like that Derek Fisher shot. You remember the shot that Fisher hit to beat San Antonio?
Oh, yeah.
That's the same kind of shot that TVO hit to beat the Bruins. All right, you guys are opening 2 weeks from today. It's technically be, I think, 9 a.m. our time on ESPN. But what a cool opportunity. You get to go to Paris and play a game. You guys are going to go early. What you excited to go to Paris?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been to Europe a few times, but never to France. So it's going to be super cool opportunity, and I think just bonding experience. I went to Italy with my Oregon State team last year, and just having that experience of going over there and being with your teammates in the hotel rooms, going exploring. I think it'll be good for this group since we're so new to get that experience. And I think it's just going to be super cool.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, we're done, Sean.
Oh, go ahead.
We're done.
Sorry, I had more, man. I got more ammo just coming. I got more questions.
Keep them coming. Want to know about those personal goals?
Of course.
Well, you can check out TVO, as I said, what did I say, 2 weeks from today, USC versus Ole Miss. That's November 4th, 9 a.m. on ESPN. They have so many big games this year. They are preseason, third in the country, second in the country, third in the country preseason. This is just a special year for USC women's basketball. TVO is going to have the ball and run that offense for you. And just a reminder, again, USC versus Rutgers coming up on Friday, presented by CHLA. That's an 8 o'clock tip on Fox and starting at 6 o'clock here across the USC Trojans Media Network. When you've got good beer and good vibes, it's all bueno. Stone Buena Vesa Salt and Lime Lager is Baja inspired, imported from San Diego, located near you at fine.stonebrewing.com. All right, thank you so much to TVO. Up next is Justin Silverstein, one of our most accomplished head coaches here at USC, the USC women's golf head coach. He's next on Trojans Live.
The ESPN LA USC Trojan Media Network. Presented by Pachanga Resort Casino. We're back with Trojans Live. And this is Trojans Live for your Monday night as we cover everything USC athletics. Now back to the campus of USC at Heritage Hall, broadcasting in Los Angeles. Here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
Fight on, Trojans, and fly on with ONT. Ontario International Airport is a proud sponsor of our USC Trojans. Visit SoCalSoEasy.com to book your journey through ONT today. Our Best in the Game is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USA Athletics, helping the world keep promises. Our Best in the Game is USC women's golf. We're joined by their head coach now, Justin Silverstein. The results so far, first, third, and tied first. Not too bad, especially in a sport where it is very hard to win consistently. Justin, tell us about this year's team. What makes them unique? Why have you been able to get out of the gate so fast?
We're really young, which has been a long time for us. We were pretty veteran ball club last 2 years. We brought in 2 great freshmen this year. We lost 3 seniors last year. Mari Avery turned pro and then had 1 transfer out. So bringing in 2 freshmen, we knew when we recruited them that we were going to need them to play immediately. And they've come in and contributed in a big way. Jasmine Koo from Cerritos just won her 2nd individual title for us yesterday at Stanford. Then she won the Windy City Collegiate before that. And then Kylie Chong, our other freshman from Torrance, has come in and contributed to both our wins and then a really good finish in the Chicago event. So small group this year, which has been nice. It's been a different challenge. We lack in depth, but we make it up in firepower at the top of our lineup, which has been fun.
Coach, first off, I'd like to thank you for the wonderful gift here. Some golf balls here from Coach. You know, I don't know how much I'm going to use them, but thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. I haven't gotten a gift here on Trojans Live before here. So
there we go.
Really hit my heart here, Coach. Tell us, obviously, you're off to a great start, but tell us about the expectations for this year's team, what you expect to see from them out there.
We're pretty set with our expectations every year. I get asked regularly about goal setting. It doesn't change. Our expectation is to win every tournament we play in. That's why they pay for us to go to tournaments. That we put the team out that we think can do the best there. So we've been pretty steadfast with that. We've had a bunch of success with it, and that kind of sets the standard at the beginning of the year of what we want to do. Obviously, winning a national championship at USC is what the athletic director wants us to do. Mm-hmm. It's what I want, but we take that expectation to every single event. We prepare for every event that way.
Coach, I got a couple of questions for my own golf game coming up, but I'll get those out of the way a little bit later. But I got to ask, you always talk about how far someone can hit it, right? Or you always want to know how good they are with the wedge in their hand. Talk about the mental side a little bit. How difficult is that? And I've always wondered at a tournament in between shots, when you kind of have that quiet moment with yourself, how important is it to stay locked in? How difficult is it when you're getting ready to take your next shot?
What I've learned in my time playing college golf and now coaching it for 16 years now is everybody's different. Some people need to stay locked in for the 4.5, 5 hours completely. And then Jasmine Koo, our freshman this year, she really locks in for the 2 or 3 minutes that she's actually hitting a golf ball.
Wow.
But the other 4 hours and 15 minutes, she's kind of just chilling, doing random things, keeping her mind clear, but she can dial in. Everybody's different. We've got a great mental coach on staff with us, Kevin Sverduk. He's been with us since 2012. And he's been part of our success. And what I like about him is he's really well-rounded with the way he can teach people to do things. He doesn't have a singular way that he teaches our players to work on the mental skill part of golf. So he just tries to fill their toolbox with as many things as possible so they're ready for those different scenarios when they get them, whether it be they're too high and they need to get lower, or there's sometimes golfers are too low and you need to get more intense. And I think you see that with a lot of golfers. They're like, I play better when I'm mad. And it's like, well, it's not that you're mad. It's that when you get angry, you get more focused.
Yeah.
So it's a little different for everybody, but we try to take a more well-rounded approach and just fill their toolbox.
You're listening to USC women's golf head coach Justin Silverstein on Trojans Live. You mentioned Jasmine Koo a couple times. She's an absolute stud freshman, has come in here and been phenomenal right from jump. I'm sure you're not surprised by that. How old was she when the first time you saw her hit a golf ball?
I think she was 12 years old.
So when you watch,
I got a late start. That's what happened.
So when you watch a 12-year-old hit a golf ball, what are you looking at? When you recruit in this sport, what are you looking? Is it her mentality on the golf course? Is it how far she's hitting it for her age? Is it just the swing mechanics? What are you looking at?
We're fortunate as coaches in college golf to have really good ranking systems. There's a couple of them. Jasmine has been ranked really high in all of them since a young age. That's kind of how we found her. Then we started following her. We noticed she does have a lot of speed. She hits it really solidly. But being from Southern California, we're able to watch her from when she's 12 to 18 before she gets here. So we know a lot about her before she steps foot on campus. So we watch the way she reacts to good shots, good rounds, bad rounds. And almost as importantly, we see how her parents react to good rounds, bad rounds, because that's a big piece of the system here. With these athletes' progress. So we watch everything, but speed has become a huge component of golf and college golf in particular. If you watch our men's teams and our women's teams, they're hitting it so much further than they were 10 years ago. So that's probably the main thing we look at that young age, just pure athletic ability. Then we see how they progress kind of the next 4 or 5 years before we're making those offers.
Coach, when you watch golf on TV, and I watch it, and I'm thinking it's an individual sport, and you want to develop these young women as they come in and help them individually, but ultimately you have team goals as well. How do you balance your time as in between team and individual spending with each player?
It's so unique in golf because it's an individual sport in a team setting, and that's one of our biggest challenges when our players get here. But we utilize, again, our performance coach, Kevin Sverduk, and our staff here, Robbie Rhodes, is an integral part of our team. We meet with their team every third week as a group, go over our communication, team goals, stuff like that. So we've really integrated that aggressively the last 3 years, and it's really helped us in the long run. We have a lot of internal leadership now for the first time maybe ever, and I've been here since 2012.
Yep.
We're actually having player run practices now, which was not a thing before. It's so great. We actually have someone on the roster now who is an extension of the coaching staff for the first time ever.
So you have a drone flying around just watching everybody all the time? Or are you like on a thing? How's that work, man?
I don't need it. Okay. Our practices are pretty intense when we have our care hour, 20-hour practices. Yeah. But I know when they're out there on their own, they're working hard. These kids care a lot about their individual rankings. They all want to play professional golf. And when we have a roster complete of players like that, we don't need to push quite as hard from the coaching side, which is a dream for us.
Driven.
All right, Coach, money question time for me. And I'm sure a lot of golfers out there listening at home. Driver's been solid. Irons have been solid. Short game has struggled a little bit. My question for you is taking that next step. Everyone wants to get to that scratch level from about 50 or 30 yards and in. What are some drills or what are the best things that you can do to really help that part of your game, and then also a little bit of putting as well?
Good question. You got to randomize your practice.
Okay.
got to gamify it and you got to randomize it. Do not sit and hit the same shot over and over, especially as you get closer to the green. Block practice, which would be doing the same thing over and over, is a little more effective the further you get away from the hole. But if you get closer to the hole, you got to randomize it, because muscle memory in golf, there's a lot of arguments to say it doesn't exist. I know there's differing ideas on that, but you got to randomize it. And I would tell you that people are too overly mechanical the closer they get to the green. Be athletic, especially someone like you, who I've watched you, pretty good athlete.
I appreciate it.
Be athletic the closer you get. I think when people get closer to the hole, they turn more into robots. Don't do that.
And watch too many YouTube videos. I try to watch all these. I know. I struggle with it, but I try to do all that.
That's just good life advice for everybody.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I'll make sure I give you a call next week when I'm at Oak Creek.
And I know that was a personal question. I would tell you to walk 100 feet down the hall and come into the offices, and let's get to work.
Let's do it.
Let's get to work. And you have a golf tournament coming up. I already volunteered Cody for that. Tell everyone about your golf tournament. You have to promote it, I was told.
November 18th, our fundraising event at Rolling Hills Country Club, the Trojan Golf Classic. It's a huge event for our golf programs. We raise a lot of money, which enables us to do a lot of unique things for our student athletes. It's a big part of college golf as a whole, but we've really been aggressive in pushing this tournament. We raise a lot of money, and it's helped us become a better golf program. So if you want to be there, there's a few spots open. Contact Paul Perrier. He'll get you all the info you need. Cody, we got a spot for you. Let's go.
I'm in.
Cody,
I know Sue will go too.
Sean will be at the 19th hole bar.
Hey, we got a reception after with your name all over it. Let's go.
Entertaining the fans. All right, Justin Silverstein, your USC women's golf head coach. East Lake Cup coming up. That's your biggest fall event, right?
It's kind of the premier event of the fall because it's on Golf Channel, so it'll be fun to be able to get kids on camera and get after it.
That's coming up in Atlanta, so good luck in that. And then, the season continues into the spring as they'll pursue another national championship. Thank you, Justin. Don't wait until game time to plan for retirement. Open your free iTrust Capital account today and get your crypto IRA. iTrust Capital is the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Back with more Trojans Live next.
With Trojans Live.
This is the ESPN LA USC Trojan Media Network. Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
And this is Trojans Live for your Monday night as we cover everything USC athletics. Now back to the campus of USC at Heritage Hall, broadcasting in Los Angeles. Here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
Want the things Trojans, be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart and Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. Our Women's Spotlight is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market. Open 7 days a week. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts for good-for-you groceries and great prices on the freshest produce. Our Women's Spotlight is on women's tennis and Lily Fairclough. She joins us now. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Cody Kessler. Good to have you. Women's tennis and tennis as a whole, men's and women's tennis, has made a change, and now you have an individual fall season and a team season in the spring. So you've already qualified for NCAA doubles as part of the fall season. How has that changed things? Are you now focused sort of more entirely on you and your doubles partner and this tournament as opposed to maybe how you'll approach the spring?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually my first fall, so it's my first experience going to be playing the NCAA tournament, and there's been a big change with how you can qualify for the tournament. There's very, very few opportunities. So for me, I think my only opportunity now is going to be sectionals if I get to play, but I think I'm more focused on the doubles now with my partner for sure.
Lily, we hear the wonderful accent coming from you here, and you're now at USC. Tell us about that journey getting to USC.
Yeah, obviously it's a long way from home. I'm definitely happy to be here. It's such an amazing place, and it was tough trying to pick schools,
Yep.
Not really knowing much about college sports. My older brother's actually at college, so I kind of saw how the process went for him, and followed some of the things he did, some different things.
Learned lessons from him.
For sure, yeah. But it was very personal for me. I just connected with the coaches here and the players in the place. So, it was not too tough of a decision, but definitely feel like I picked the right spot.
Jordan just mentioned it a little bit there, playing doubles and singles. You do both. Is there a little more pressure when playing doubles because you have a partner to depend on, or they're depending on you, or do you feel like there's more pressure when you're out there by yourself?
Personally, I feel like there's less pressure on doubles.
Okay.
I guess I love playing with a partner on the court. I know a lot of girls feel like they don't want to let their partner down, but I feel like it's great having support on the court. It can get a little lonely out there sometimes when you're playing by yourself, so it's fun to have someone to kind of bounce off and bring a lot of really fun energy with. How
important is it to find the right partner, though? Is there a process that you go through when trying to figure out who you play best with, and especially when you're new to campus, your first year being here?
Yeah, it's super important. You got to connect with the person. You have to know them pretty well, like how they function. And definitely, we practice with a couple different people, but the coaches definitely try and pick and choose who they put together with chemistry, game styles, and Grace and I think game styles work really well together, and I love her, so it's really easy to be on the court with her.
What makes a great doubles player? What skills do you think separate a great doubles player from your singles game?
It's very different. A lot of people don't realize how different the two competitions can be. I think reading the court, I read the court quite well, so doubles has always come pretty naturally for me. Obviously, there's a lot more volleying, but communication as well. You got to communicate really well with your partner, and on the singles court, it's just you by yourself, so you don't have to do anything for anyone else out there. But
Lily, tell us about your game a little bit. Forehands, backhand. You're a taller person, so you probably got some range out there. You like to volley. What's your specialty?
I definitely like to volley.
Okay.
I think that's something that separates me from a lot of girls. I've got pretty good serve, if I do say so myself.
Go ahead, let it out. We don't care. Say whatever.
Left-handed, you're left-handed, right? Left-handed serve is a pain. Nobody likes to play against a left-handed server.
No one likes it.
Yeah.
I love it. For me, it's great. But yeah, my serve, my forehand, and my volleys, I say, are probably the biggest part of my game. I like to be pretty aggressive on the court.
This is a lefty show we got today. With
I know,
Matt.
all
Now,
lefties.
Love it.
Yep.
Okay, so I golf lefty, by the way, too. I forgot to tell Justin that, but I'll make sure I text him.
Why?
Golf right-handed.
You golf right? So do you throw with your left hand, too?
Yeah, but I golf
But you do
right-handed.
everything. See, I'm the same. I throw right when I played quarterback, and then golf, baseball, swinging, everything like that was
I right
lefty.
left, though.
Yeah, we're all mixed.
You're-
My little brother's the same way.
You're a twin. Is your twin left-handed?
He's right-handed, so he took the short straw with that. But
It's tough for the lefties, especially in the golf world. But stepping away from tennis a little bit, talking about Australia, where you're from, and I've got to ask because you're from Perth, right? From
Yep.
that area. Okay, so you always see it on Instagram, and this isn't a sport question, but you see the snakes that are the size of cats. You see, or the spiders that are the size of cats. You see snakes in the roof. You see all these dangerous animals. Is that real, or is that more amplified on social media, or have you had? Because I am terrified to go to Australia, but I've always been curious. Is that actually a thing from day to day life? That there's that many?
I mean, you
animals?
don't get like they're not like walking around the city.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah, you watch. I mean, you check.
Cody, remember earlier when Justin said that we should all get off YouTube?
Yeah,
It sounds like maybe Instagram isn't for you.
This is an Instagram
No,
thing.
like,
It's a fair question, though, right?
No,
You know what
for
I'm talking
sure.
about.
Everyone asks me, like, for sure, there's huge snakes.
Yeah.
Like, they're huge and very dangerous, but they're not like in the city.
But it's not like you're walking to to
I'm
the
not
store and
going to the
there's a
supermarket
dog-sized spider chasing
hopping
after you.
over
Okay,
snakes.
maybe I'll stay in that area.
Greatest Australian tennis player ever.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ever? It's a tough question.
I know.
think. I
I
mean,
only ask the tough questions around here.
there's so many. I mean, you've got like results-wise, like Margaret Court has
Yeah.
won, an insane amount of Grand Slams, 21, I think.
Pat Rafter, great volleyer. A lot of
Iconic.
sunscreen.
A lot of sunscreen.
Really big
sure.
on sunscreen.
That's the best
Leighton
part of
Hewitt.
his game.
A lot of intensity.
Ash Barty's probably.
Yeah, she's been
Well,
great.
she's my personal favorite.
Yeah.
I think she's done a lot for women's tennis in Australia. So
I got to get to the Australian Open, guys.
Did you
That's
know
the
all this,
party.
or did
Big
you
tennis
study
guy.
this?
Big tennis guy.
I'm
Okay.
going from here
Wow.
to play tennis.
Are you
Really?
My next stop after this will be
40 and over.
Do you play pickleball? That's big now. Do tennis players? Do you guys like to play pickleball like everyone else in the world is doing right now?
personally, I've never played.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
That's
your
embarrassing.
body can still play tennis. Why would you play
don't-
pickleball?
This
Yeah.
body plays pickleball.
There you go. That's a good point.
I mean, personally, I think pickleball's a little bit of like a cop out.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
Thank
I'm
you,
I'm
Lily.
talking
Great
away.
comments.
But like,
Uh-oh.
I don't disrespect on it because
Well, a little bit.
people.
I love it. No, say it. Yeah, we love it.
Like, I mean, I'm
You're a
not.
Division I tennis player. You can say that.
I'm not for pickleball players like taking tennis courts. I'm
Oh,
not for that.
there's a rivalry there, huh?
There it
I'm
is.
not
Put
for
up
that.
reports,
Like,
please.
they can do their own thing in the
Yeah.
back corner, but
Please, I hope this gets clipped. I love it.
In the front corner will be Lily and USC women's tennis. NCAA is coming up November 19th to the 22nd. You can catch them out on campus all spring, too, when all the dual matches begin. Good luck with the rest of your season. Thank you so much for taking the time with us. Ready to take it to the next level? Unleash the beast this college tailgate season with Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Our USC football roundtable is next on Trojans Live.
is the ESPN LA USC Trojan Media Network, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
And this is Trojans Live, as we cover everything USC athletics. Once again, back to Trojans Live. Now back to the campus of USC at Heritage Hall, broadcasting in Los Angeles. Here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
Back on Trojans Live, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Cody Kessler. Keely Yor joins us now for our weekly football roundtable. A little light on football talk this week because they're out on the practice field, but Lincoln Riley should be back on the show next week. We'll have a player as well coming out of that Rutgers game. That's USC versus Rutgers, presented by CHLA. Coming up on Friday night, little Friday night lights, short week for this team. The team's obviously getting super analyzed, guys, and so it just sort of comes down to like, what is it? What makes the difference between a team that's sitting here at 3-4 but has had a fourth quarter lead in every single loss? What do you see, Keely, as the one little thing that's missing that maybe they can get fixed in the rest of the season?
Yeah, you mentioned it, having a lead in all 7 games in the fourth quarter, but they've given the ball away in some form or fashion. That's 5 punts and 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter by USC's offense. So not being able to close games. And I know it comes down to other minute details, and if you listen to the Victory podcast, we've gone over it a lot, but I think just being able to close games and not make critical mistakes in critical moments, I think that's been the biggest thing for this team.
I think it's twofold for me. When you think about the fourth quarter collapses, I look at the ability to have mental strength, right? In those situations, especially when they've come up over and over again, the team has just felt like they've kind of collapsed in those situations. That speaks to me of a team that's mentally strong, that can battle through situations, and this team just hasn't been able to find that mental clarity or strength in those situations to find those winning plays. And I think another aspect of those collapses is the ability to play make in situations, and I think obviously without having Eric Gentry and Anthony Lucas on defense, that's, those are playmakers. You need playmakers in those situations to make plays. And that's when the big time guys usually step up in those situations. And if you don't have them or you don't have enough of them in those situations, the other team has the playmaker. That's why, USC has been, in those situations, I think, at end of games.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, it just feels like when you watch, we just struggle to play with the lead, or we don't know how to play when we get the lead, right? And put the foot on the gas and take over the football game. But we do a good job of coming back, right? Down against Michigan, we came back in the second half. Down against Wisconsin by 11, we come back in the second half. Started fast against Penn State, and then we have a 2-score lead going out to that game. But it just feels like we can't put teams away. And a big part of that, like Keely mentioned, is those costly turnovers, right? We've had so many turnovers when we have a chance to put the game away, going on our opponent's side of the 50, have those big time plays. We just can't do it. But there's other things to that. And the thing for me, just talking from the offense, is we struggle with those explosive plays. But the big part is it feels like it's individual mistakes right now at this point. It feels like, there's a couple times in that game where Miller had some deep throws that he could make. Guys had a step on a DB, put it over the top to Deuce a couple times, or pit a play to Charles Ross, who had a great route on that, put it over the top to him and let some of those guys go make a play. Kyron Hudson on that third down, when they go all out cover 0, he left it a little bit short. But the other side, we're dropping some of those as well. There's been times this year where Miller has put it on the money, and we had a chance to score. We're just dropping them. So it just feels like we're not making the plays when they're there, but we're also not taking over the football game when we have the lead and have chances to put it away.
It's funny to tie it back to what we've talked about on this show, even though we didn't have a football guest on. Justin Silverstein, I never heard anyone say that before, where he says, people always tell me that they play better when they're mad. They're not actually better because they're mad. They're better because they're concentrating. It's sort of the point that you're making with a lead, right? This team, I felt when it got behind against Michigan, got mad a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember how intense Eric Gentry was in that game, how intense the defense was, but really just locked in. And, up 2 touchdowns, a chance to put Maryland away. I just feel like the details all of a sudden got sloppy because I really do think that they were better than that team. And that team in particular, I mean, it's one thing we talk about Penn State and Michigan. That game was really there to be won on Saturday.
Yeah, and the talent level between USC and Maryland, it shouldn't be that kind of game. And like you said, I think this conversation just feels like mental strength, in the ability to close a team out takes a certain level of energy. You got to have that ability to know when that time in the game is, right? When you're up 2 scores and you got the ball here, this is the possession where we can end this whole thing. Let's go down on defense, on offense, end this thing, then you can kind of put it in cruise control. But until that point, this team just seems in those moments not to understand the situations to where they can put a team away.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part, and that's what I talked about. I mean, we texted in our group text during the game. those missed opportunities lead to that. We shouldn't even be a 2-score lead in the second half. It should have been a 4-score lead in the first half, right? We should have been 35-7. Now, I know Maryland was the better team on that day. You got to give them credit. I'm not taking away from that. Obviously, talent-wise, like Sean said, we have better athletes. We should be able to go in there, even on the road, in the Big Ten, go win that football game and come home. But we're just missing those opportunities to put games away. And then when we have chances at the end, and I'm fine. I know Miller threw the pick, right? You can't have that. That can't happen in that situation. I know we missed the block up front. Just take a sack, throw it away. I'm fine, though, with that turnover, right? It's okay. We got to pick. Not fine with it. You don't want to happen, but they go down and score after one play. We're still up 7. Reload, go to the sideline, calm down, and then go put a drive together. It just feels like we went into panic mode, and we're not making these plays that we need to make, especially at the end of the football game, and we're not playing complementary football. Either our offense scores and our defense can't get a stop, or they get a stop, and then we go down, have a block kick, and we can't put it away.
But even that sudden change after that situation, the defense needs to have the mindset of like, oh, big turnover. We need to come out and step up for our offense, and that's the kind of mindset it needs. Not, oh, just let a touchdown dribble in. And those are the situations where you need to have each other's back, and I just feel like in some moments in this team, it's just like, somebody else can figure out this playmaking, and it just hasn't been the Trojans.
Well, I mean, the game, and you could feel that, though. You could feel a shift in that stadium. You guys were there. I mean, you can tell it was.
Well, the energy goes the other way.
And I don't mean it's okay to throw a pick. That's not what I meant. I meant, though, that's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes made. It's fine. How do you respond to them? And I just felt like we just kind of let everything go, and Maryland took over the football game from that point.
And you guys have talked about it before, but at this point, it's now a pattern this season. How do you get out of that mindset? I felt like almost on that final drive, the defense, the body language kind of felt like, here we go again, and it didn't have that instinct that you were talking about, Sean. So how do you change that when you've had this pattern?
I really thought when we were watching the game and Jalen Smith had that interception on 4th down, I thought, hey, that could be one of the plays that say, hey, no, this is not going to happen. You're not going to come down and score. And it just felt like that might have been the play, and it didn't unfold like that. But I think it comes down to a lot of those moments. You got to have players make plays. That's why I spoke about playmakers, is you got to have a big play. You need someone to step up and rise above when everyone just seems like, oh, no, it's going to happen again. Someone's got to be like, wait, it's not. Here we go. Jalen Smith, interception. That's why I thought that play might have been something, but it just wasn't the case.
Well, the Kamari Ramsey sack for me was the play, right? We've given this team or this defense a hard time about not making stops on 4th down. And the drive before, we gave up 2 plays on 4th down where they converted and went down and scored, but we made the stop that needed to be made. That was a beautiful call by Danton Lynn, bring pressure from Kamari Ramsey, got the sack, or they called his momentum down or whatever, but we got the sack, we got the football back with, I think, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go.
Put it away.
Yeah. That's why I say the complementary football is either our defense doesn't get a stop against Penn State when our offense goes down and throws a touchdown to Kyron Hudson, and then we give up 2 4th downs, or our defense does get a stop, and then we go down and can't put it away on offense. It's frustrating.
And I think what's been tricky for Lincoln Riley, who sat in this chair and more or less said as much, is when you go 3 and 4, everyone's going, make huge changes. Yeah. But he's sitting there going, huge changes? If we just made a kick last week, we're up by 9, game over. If we get the stop on 4th down, game over. If we don't throw that pick, we probably go down and score, game over. And there's been that in every single game. So it's this battle of like, why would I make these massive changes? I mean, Cody, you asked him this question last week, and more or less that's what he said. It's like, why would I make these massive changes when we're this close? But it's kind of easier to make big changes than it is small changes.
Well, I mean, I think the thing, too, is and obviously you want to learn how to win these close games. And I understand, going against Michigan. They're not playing great, but that's a good football team. The Penn State game, coming down to the wire, I understand that. But I think it's the Minnesota game or last week against Maryland when we have chances to go up by 4 or 5 scores. We shouldn't even be in a close game in the first place. I think that's the frustrating part. But I understand what Coach is saying, right? We are right on track, and whether people don't like it or not, we are a couple plays away from winning these games and having a chance to be undefeated, but we shouldn't be in some of those situations in the first place. So I think that's where the frustration comes from, because we have opportunities to take a 4 or 5 score lead in some of these lesser opponents, and we're just not getting it done.
And that's what I kind of battle my mind with is this roster. If you look at the players and their experience, how many people have done this before, have been in those situations? And I don't feel like a lot of people have been. And then you get into this mindset where, and Riley's talked about it before, you're pressing too much. He said that they've tried to make the play, and sometimes that's worse. So I don't know. It's, of course, there's so many variables to football, but it's wild when you break it all down.
Yeah, and I wonder, too, is it harder this day and age when you're sitting in this spot, okay, now it's the portal and everyone came here and you came here to win? Is that harder? Or is it easier because in this sort of sports psych era, the kids are just, hey, we just got to go 1-0 this week, and that's the answer we get? I don't know. I think we find out, this week and the coming weeks to see how easy or hard it is for this team to respond. But certainly down now in a place where I'm sure they did not expect to be, especially after the way the season started with that incredible win against LSU. We will be there to cover it all on Friday night. USC versus Rutgers, presented by CHLA. It'll kick at 8 o'clock. We'll go on at 6. One final segment of Trojans Live coming up next.
In LA, USC Trojan Media Network. Presented by Pachanga Resort Casino. We're back with Trojans Live. And this is Trojans Live for your Monday night as we cover everything USC athletics. Now back to the campus of USC at Heritage Hall, broadcasting in Los Angeles. Here are your hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Cody Kessler.
One final segment of Trojans Live on a Monday evening here in downtown Los Angeles. LA is the place to be. Lakers season starts tomorrow night at Crypto. The Dodgers are going to the World Series. And our over-under is presented by Pachanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics. Sean, you were ready? This is exactly what I was going to ask. No over-under. Just give me a World Series prediction.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
I believe the Dodgers will win.
In how many games? You've never done a baseball prediction before? Or NBA prediction? You say blank in blank.
Dodgers in 6.
Okay, I got Dodgers in 5. Shohei MVP.
God.
Ooh.
I like the MVP toss in.
Yeah.
Shohei MVP. That's all I can say. Is a sad Angels
Oh, yeah, that's the
fan.
Angels fan over here.
Yeah.
Jordan, who do you got?
Yankees in 6, baby.
Oh, boy.
Yankees in 6.
The Jersey guy.
How many of our fans will you think I'll lose over the next
I know you.
2 weeks?
I didn't know if you were going to share right now.
Arbo's just got to
guy.
stop asking me questions, you know. I'm from New Jersey, people, you know. Yankee through and through.
Joel.
All right, well, enjoy it. Congratulations to all you Dodger fans. I hope it doesn't turn out well for you, but we shall see. We'll be back here next Monday night with Trojans Live. Thanks, everyone. Fight on.
This has been Trojans Live, presented by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Tune in Monday nights at 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN and on the all-new ESPN LA app. And follow us on the ESPN LA Trojan Media Network. Trojans Live is an exclusive presentation of Play Fly Sports on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA Trojan Media Network. Presented by Pachanga Resort Casino.